and visitors to this press conference. We welcome you to our penultimate function of our 150 years of existence, which we are celebrating starting tomorrow with an international regatta. And we have teams from Austria, Britain, and Sri Lanka, and indeed from the rest of this country. Many of you from the press, I'm sure, would remember that you did come to the first function, which is the flag raising ceremony, which took place some months ago, the beginning of the year, to start the functions of the 150 years. Rowing was a very spectacle sport in the days gone by, in the early days, because there was no television, there were hardly any coverage other than the newspaper coverages. And if you, whenever there was a regatta, you would find practically everybody from Madras, that is Chennai, used to come to these lawns to see the regatta. As you walk out of the club, at the entrance, you will see posters on the right and the left, and they are right from the time, early days, just a little after 1867, and in that you will see a fair amount of coverage that the newspapers did, with cartoons and everything of the regatta and the people who did row in that. So we look forward to all of you actually giving us a good write-up in our 150 years. Don't forget, 150 years of existence continuously of an institution anywhere in the world is an excellent time scale in history. I mean, Canada, which is a country, just celebrated in June its 150 years of existence. So history has been created here. This is as good as perhaps one of the best rowing clubs in the country, and indeed, I would imagine, in the Far East. We look forward to a good coverage from you. Enjoy the functions, and the heats, I think, start tomorrow, but I leave all that to the others who are more expert in that. With that, I would say welcome to the inauguration of this function.
Great pleasure to welcome you all to this press conference marking the 100th year celebrations and the international regatta that we had planned some time back. We had called many teams, but a few of them responded, and we are very grateful for the teams who landed up across oceans, and we're very happy to have you all here. And I'm sure it's going to be a lovely regatta. I would also like to introduce to you, I would call it a blast from the past, Mr. Demetrius Randis, who was the captain of boats in 1962, 1963. And he has been in constant touch with the club. He's from Greece, and he happened to be in India those days, working here. So we thank him for accepting our invitation to be part of the celebrations, and he's along here with us. And we have Mr. Gopal Madhavan. He's been a 7-time president of this club, and today he functions as the member of the race jury. He's an international umpire, and he will oversee the racing that is to happen soon. And with these little words, I would like to ask the captain of boats to continue. Thank you.
Sitting, just say my date of birth is 1964. So when captain is sitting, it should be 1962 captain. I'm so proud of you sitting with him on the stage, first of all. And I request for the media to say so comments like, our team from England and all. I asked them, how's the water and all? They said, Thames River is worse than this, now is much better. I think get this point out, nothing late. I think with media support, still we can do it. I hope your all the media support for this article support help for our river cleaning and as well as the rowing to promote more and more and better in the country. Thank you all of you here. Thanks.
I am Greek, as you've heard. I came here in 1957, just before this club was going to have the festivities of its 100 years of existence. Today we have 150. I spent 5 years with the Madras Boat Club, and I think I did something. Not very much, because other people, from what I understand, have done a lot more. But definitely in those days, we were very few, and all of us loved rowing so much. We did rowing every morning and every evening, at least 3 hours per day, sometimes more. We used to go as far as the sea with candles in the boats. It was very nice indeed, and today, after so many years, after 56 years, I feel very much honored to be here among you and wish you all a big success in the regatta that is coming, and definitely a bigger success to the club, wishing that one day we'll celebrate its 1,000 years. Thank you.
As you know, rowing, this is an amateur sport, so there is no prize money involved. It's mostly a mug, a beer mug maybe, a t-shirt, and the history of rowing, like my good friend here was mentioning. Rowing was even more popular than horse racing in the 1800s. It was, a lot of betting and big money was going into rowing. So the people who managed rowing affairs then thought that this is not the way to take rowing forward. They said, let's make it amateur. So no more prize money in rowing. And from that day onwards, rowing just became another sport. And there are people who say rowing is the last amateur sport left in the world. For example, the indoor ergometer championships, they fight for a hammer. It's a hammer, that's it. And they travel from all across the world to just be there and do it. There is no big prize money, but I guess the way forward to take sport forward is to have some kind of prize money and incentives, because our children here rowing also, they are not recognized by most of the institutes who could give them a job on sports quota. The port trust, the public sectors, the oil sectors, they look at the list and they say, oh, you have done rowing, and unfortunately rowing has got a bad image here. What they say is this, rowing, but rowing is not that. And then they say, we are sorry, there is no rowing on the list, but you know to play caroms, we'll give you a job. So that's the fate of rowing right now. But of course, we are trying to introduce some sort of incentivizations. We are planning to have some scholarships for deserving students, and take it up. And another thing I'd like to say is, many people think rowing is an elite sport. It's not so anymore. Maybe when it started, it was an elite sport because the schools in Britain, the top schools only could afford rowing facilities. And rowing is not a sport that I could do myself or anyone. It needs an institutional support because the boats are expensive. You need to maintain them and so on and so forth. So answering your question, the prize money is practically nothing.